The new Dire Taken faction. A character death heard in dialogue. Tentacle creatures and precursor weapons of sorrow. Today we have some Heresy mysteries to unearth that were hidden in yesterday's stream. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in. So yesterday we broke down the bulk of the information from the Heresy Act 1 livestream. But as the community has noticed, there was tons of secrets hidden throughout that we're going to talk about today. Some of this stuff has possible spoilers and I'll let you know when that is so you can skip over it if you want. Let's first start with the new Taken faction. Throughout some of the encounters and gameplays, you may have noticed that some new Taken enemies appear on the Dreadnought. These new enemies are called Dire and seem to be a new Taken faction, the Dire Taken. Dire means extremely serious or urgent, of warning or threat presaging disaster. Revenant gave us the Revenant Scorn. The power of this echo might have given us the Dire Taken. Some of them appear more taken if others, if that makes sense. Shadow-like and tentacles are even involved with some, which is strange. For example, the War Beast, they look more dark and shadowy. But others are named too, like Dire Acolytes, Dire Thrall, or Dire Phalanxes. In the stream, Bungie said that a Dread enemy has chased the Echo here to the Dreadnought, so we don't know who that Dread is or who currently holds the power of the third Echo. Is it that Dread? Is it Xivu Arath?
And after it left the Pale Heart, a very specific Dread that we're going to be seeing this episode gave chase to it. So we're going to be dealing with the Dread and the Taken and the Hive all revolving around this third Echo.
Excellent.
We do seem to get some pretty clear hints that Oryx could be the entity inside the Echo. It's mentioned that he's returned in some fashion. And from what Bungie said, it doesn't seem like he's completely revived, maybe he just returns in some weird way. I could be completely wrong though. So far we know that each of the Echoes has had an entity inside of it. Maybe Bungie is making it more clear here if it is Oryx. Things also get strange when you look at the Taken power around the Dreadnought. Marasov told us this.
I have already learned much by observation. The Taken pursued her here. Taken she once controlled. Taken that now serve a new master. Or, if Savathun is to be believed, their original master. Not her brother, Oryx, but something far older. She fears it. It commands Xivu Arath to conquer the Ascendant space surrounding the Dreaming City. To use the Taken in her campaign against us.
So that makes us wonder if the Witness was the first one to wield the power to take, and if Oryx simply borrowed and used it. Or maybe it wasn't even the Witness, it was something above the Witness, but to me it made it sound like Mara stated that it was in fact the Witness. The Witness is gone now, so who's creating new Taken? Next, let's talk about some story secrets, and by that I mean some possible big spoilers. If you don't want to hear any of this, skip to this timestamp on screen. When Guardians enter the mausoleum after going through the Ascendant Plane, it looks like, we see Sloane is talking at the top right of the screen. We don't hear what she says specifically, but then it transitions to audible Drifter dialogue which we can hear. The devs were talking over this and they had subtitles off, but it sounded like this.
Yeah.
Enemy in the world.
You can really take in the skybox for a little while and hang out with your buddies. Yeah.
And then additionally, if you do get lost, because this is, we didn't want to overclutter the spaces with objectives, because there is a lot of things to do and there's a lot of different get lost. You just pop out in your ghost and there'll be a bunch of star objective icons that'll like let you know where you should be looking and where you should be going for the next.
From this conversation, we get some info. Drifter and Sloane are speaking to each other. Drifter has called Sloane Thundergun in the past.
Won't ask what Xivu's dredging up for a killer like you. Wouldn't be polite. Thundergun's down there, though. Been under pressure so long, everybody's looking for cracks.
Drifter seems to be quite depressed about the situation, which leads me first to believe that something happened to Eris Morn. Personally, I don't see Eris ever dying, but maybe something happens to her here at the start of Act 1. She encounters Xivu Arath in some revenge scheme. Some dark power on the Dreadnought consumes her and she disappears, leading us to think that she's dead. Or maybe she actually does die. The relationship between Drifter and Eris has been ramping up, and Bungie could totally pull on those heartstrings if they want.
It is a wild ride.
Hey, I'll be there when you're on the other side of this.
As will I. Trust.
The second option here has to do with Ahsa, and Ahsa is the one that died. We know from new Grimoire anthology lore that came out back in December that Xivu is after Ahsa herself, and the Worm of Titan clearly seems to be involved in this episode too. So something big is going to happen at the beginning of the Act 1 story here. Someone's going to die. Is it the Worm of Titan? Is it Eris Morn? These two characters are the best options for who it could be, in my opinion. I lead more toward Ahsa though, as Bungie said Eris will be a part of the main cast, but we'll see. The card with Ahsa from that anthology states that she was looking for a place where this all began, so that also makes me wonder if this has a connection, and what was that place? Was it Fundament, where the proto-worms were corrupted by the Witness in the first place? Was it the Garden Before Time? Ahsa was an incredibly powerful worm with connections to the darkness, and she knew about the Witness and its precursor species, so she was there millions of years ago. There's also something else we see around the Dreadnought: tentacles. They branch out through the environment. They appear around taken constructs like the one where you pick your reward in the Nether activity. To me, they seem a little bit different than egregore, larger ones appearing in the environment. So what could these be connected to? Is it this new ancient eldritch force? Is it something tied to Taken power and where it originally came from? Another scary implication from this image is the Dreadnought superweapon. In the Taken King, it was used to destroy the Awoken fleet with its massive amounts of paracausal energy. During some of our first missions on the Hive ship, we disabled it so other Guardians could fly through and board the ship themselves. The Cabal later tried to blow the place up with their engines, but as of right now, we don't truly know if it's not able to function or if it's just disabled.
It's malfunctioning. Did you break my stealth drive?
You think they can see us?
I think they can see us! What happened? Everything all right?
Why wouldn't we be all right? We're just stuck here with no ship and no transmat zone.
Great. Told you my stealth drive would work.
Something is clearly going on with the concept here, unless this is just some symbolism to represent maybe Xivu or some other force taking over the Dreadnought. Weird place to put it though, right where the superweapon would be. There's also strange eyeballs too. I thought these kind of looked like Savathun's eyes at first, the ones that once appeared on Io, but they are definitely different. Another cool fact is related to some of the weapons showcased, like the new exotic called the Barrow Dyad. Weapons of Sorrow are hive magic weapons that are super deadly. They can corrupt the wielder and cause massive amounts of destruction. Some examples of known weapons of Sorrow were Necrochasm or Touch of Malice. The new exotic Barrow Dyad is said by Bungie to not be a weapon of sorrow, but a fossilized weapon that's a precursor to the weapons themselves. The word barrow sometimes refers to a burial ground. Dyad meaning something that consists of two elements or parts. So a burial ground consisting of different elements. Take that for what you will. Maybe this weapon is bridging to an ancient time before the Hive were the Hive, peeling back these ancient layers to reveal the bone and whatever else remains, maybe even to another species.
Yeah, so there are going to be player questions immediately of like, when you're talking about blight and those sorts of keywords, is this a weapon of sorrow?
That's a great question. It is not a weapon of sorrow, but you know, I heard another rumor that this thing is a kind of fossilized precursor to a weapon of sorrow.
Interesting.
But I can't, you know, confirm.
Redacted.
This, yeah.
Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some more secrets from the Act 1 reveal stream of Heresy. If you found anything that we didn't mention, be sure to tell us in the comments down below. And if you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.